Today our topic is how to cultivate wisdom with Stoicism. Stoicism is an ancient philosophy that teaches us how to live a good life by focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. It is not about being emotionless or cold, but about finding peace and strength in the face of life's challenges. To cultivate wisdom with Stoicism, we must first understand its core principles and then practice them in our daily lives. The first principle of Stoicism is understanding what is within our control and what is not. We cannot control external events, the actions of others, or even many of the circumstances we find ourselves in. What we can control is our own thoughts, actions, and reactions. This is the foundation of Stoic wisdom. By focusing on what we can control, we free ourselves from unnecessary stress and anxiety. For example, if someone insults us, we cannot control their words, but we can control how we respond. We can choose not to be upset by their words, and instead focus on our own behavior. The second principle of Stoicism is the practice of virtue. The Stoics believe that the highest good is to live a virtuous life. Virtue means living with wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. Wisdom is the ability to see things as they truly are and to make good decisions. Courage is the strength to face challenges and do what is right, even when it is difficult. Justice is treating others with fairness and kindness. Self-discipline is the ability to control our desires and impulses. By striving to live virtuously, we cultivate wisdom and become better people. The Stoics believe that living a virtuous life is the key to true happiness. This is because virtue is something that no one can take away from us. No matter what happens in life, we can always choose to act with wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. The third principle of Stoicism is the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness means being fully present in the moment and aware of our thoughts and feelings. The Stoics believe that many of our problems come from our own minds. We often create unnecessary suffering by worrying about the future or dwelling on the past. By practicing mindfulness, we can learn to focus on the present moment and let go of negative thoughts. For example, if we are feeling anxious about a future event, we can remind ourselves that we cannot control the outcome, but we can control how we prepare and how we respond. By staying present, we can reduce our anxiety and focus on what we can do right now. The fourth principle of Stoicism is the practice of acceptance. Acceptance means accepting things as they are, rather than wishing they were different. The Stoics believe that suffering comes from resisting reality. When we refuse to accept what is happening, we create unnecessary pain. For example, if we lose our job, we can choose to accept the situation and focus on finding a new one, or we can resist the reality and frustrated. By accepting what we cannot change, we free ourselves from suffering and open ourselves to new possibilities. Acceptance does not mean giving up or being passive. It means recognizing what is beyond our control and focusing our energy on what we can do. The fifth principle of Stoicism is the practice of gratitude. Gratitude means being thankful for what we have, rather than focusing on what we lack. The Stoics believe that many of our problems come from wanting more than we have. We often think that we will be happy if we have more money, a better job, or a bigger house. But the truth is that happiness comes from within. By practicing gratitude, we can learn to appreciate what we have and find contentment in the present moment. For example, instead of wishing for a bigger house, we can be grateful for the home we have and the people we share it with. Gratitude helps us to focus on the positive aspects of our lives and reduces our desire for things we do not need. The sixth principle of Stoicism is the practice of reflection. Reflection means taking time to think about our actions, decisions, and experiences. The Stoics believed that reflection is essential for cultivating wisdom. By reflecting on our lives, we can learn from our mistakes and make better choices in the future. For example, at the end of each day, we can take a few minutes to think about what went well, what we could have done better, and what we learned. Reflection helps us to grow and improve as individuals. It also helps us to stay focused on our goals and values. The seventh principle of Stoicism is the practice of resilience. Resilience means having the strength to bounce back from adversity. The Stoics believe that challenges are an inevitable part of life, and that we should not fear them. Instead, we should see them as opportunities to grow and to become stronger. For example, if we face a difficult situation, we can choose to see it as a test of our character and an opportunity to practice our virtues. By developing resilience, we can face life's challenges with courage and determination. Resilience is not about avoiding pain or hardship, but about learning to endure it and grow from it. The eighth principle of Stoicism is the practice of simplicity. Simplicity means living a life free from unnecessary distractions and desires. The Stoics believe that a simple life is a happy life. When we focus on what is truly important, we can find peace and contentment. For example, instead of chasing after material possessions, we can focus on our relationships, our health, and our personal growth. By living simply, we can reduce stress and focus on what truly matters. The ninth principle of Stoicism is the practice of humility. Humility means recognizing our limitations and not thinking too highly of ourselves. The Stoics believe that arrogance and pride are obstacles to wisdom. When we are humble, we are open to learning and growing. We recognize that we do not have all the answers and that we can learn from others. Humility also helps us to treat others with respect and kindness. By practicing humility, we can cultivate wisdom and become better people. The 10th principle of Stoicism is the practice of love and kindness. The Stoics believe that love and kindness are essential for a good life. We are all connected, and our actions affect others. By treating others with love and kindness, we create a positive impact on the world. For example, if we are kind to others, they are more likely to be kind to us. Love and kindness also help us to build strong relationships and create a sense of community. By practicing love and kindness, we can cultivate wisdom and live a fulfilling life. In conclusion, cultivating wisdom with Stoicism is about focusing on what we can control, living a virtuous life, practicing mindfulness, acceptance, gratitude, reflection, resilience, simplicity, humility, and love and kindness. By following these principles, we can find peace, strength, and happiness in the face of life's challenges. Stoicism teaches us that true wisdom comes from within, and that we have the power to create a good life, no matter what happens. By practicing Stoicism, we can cultivate wisdom and live a life of purpose and meaning.